Utopia abortion comic is, I Will Survive is still the most grounded one. It's relative. Please cut me some slack. I believe it treats itself the most seriously. It is the one least warped and defiled by the internet's opinion of it. The plot is essentially what I've said up till now. Judy finds out she's pregnant with her and Nick's child and breaks the news to him as if something awful is happening. But when she tells Nick, he is ecstatic and is so excited to be a dad, but he is none too happy when Judy decides she doesn't want to keep him. She has her own reasons, like that since the baby is the first predator-prey crossbreed, it might not only be shunned for society for being different, but they may be too big for Judy to birth at all, meaning there could be possible complications during childbirth that could kill her. On top of that, she's a career-invested woman, a girl boss, if you will, perhaps the girl boss down the line, and she doesn't want to have a child that could interrupt her trajectory in life at a time that could undo what she's worked for before she's ready for it. She speaks on how she's a symbol for prey species like her, who were looked down on as weak, and giving everything she's done up till this point could be devastating for those people. And yeah, we already know Nick is not happy and absolutely freaking out about this, but he says some awful shit to Judy. Let me source from the text like my English teachers all beat me into doing. You know who I am, you know what I am, you know what's at stake for me since we first met, and you know full well that I did everything for my career. Yes, I do know. It seems like you could even kill our baby for your career. His walkout line at the end of this comic is calling it premeditated sin. The killing your baby for your career comment is what sent Judy over the line though, and she just strikes him. She leaves that round 3 COD Zombies tally mark across his face, and it draws blood, sending him dolphin diving to the ground. She immediately regrets going sicko mode, but the deed is already done, and Nick decides that's when to call it quits. I mean, like, fair enough, if you got, like, hit and shit, I would probably try to get out of that building as well. But before he leaves, he gives the, Judy, imagine if you got aborted. All your potential would have been lost spiel, and that her not existing would mean his life would still be a mess, because she wouldn't be in it. I know this part isn't what we're supposed to take away from that, but this is funny enough how we learned Nick was a canon alcoholic in this universe. This will come up later. He pleads with her to keep the fetus and not delete us at one last time, but she says no, wanting Nick to stay so they can talk it out nonetheless though. But he's not hearing it anymore, and then he's gone for good. This last panel double-page spread is like fucking crazy to look at. You just have Judy Hopps' cheeks full on in the view. He's like the picture of that dude butt naked asking all sad, why is everyone so mean to me? Now, I think it's important we look at the aftermath and response to this comic because its virality and reception directly influence future installments. I mean, how could it not? Firstly, like I said, Judy is fine as hell in this comic. Every drawing of her has her cheeks staring directly at, making an impression on the viewer. Even the ones where she's crying. And I mean, look at that waist to hips to thighs ratio. It makes me jealous. I wish my body looked like hers. And hey, I'm not bringing this up because I'm a furry, seeing as I'm not one of those, but rather because this particular aspect of this one is noticeably toned down in future entries. It might have been just a natural stylistic change that the author made over time as the way they draw changed, but also could have been a purposeful creative decision. I'll never know for sure. I think the main reaction the public had when this comic first went viral was just complete confusion. Nobody had any goddamn idea if this comic was meant as a joke or not. And can you blame them? Because the words Zootopia, abortion, and comic all together sounds like a quiplash prompt. The thing is, everybody thought if it was a joke, it was an incredibly high-effort one with a serious tone that it kept up throughout its entire length with truly biting writing and drama. The biggest thing I personally saw that this comic was criticized for was portraying Judy and Nick as completely out of character. I mean, they definitely criticized other things about it, but about the comic as a comic itself, I'm pretty sure it was mainly that. Are you gonna tell me this art is bad? It's not like you can really go after it for the art. This shit is stunning. But some people claimed that Nick would never act in the way he did, and that the same went for Judy. There's probably some truth to that, but I think the liberties taken with the characters' personalities led people to believe that, at least in this first entry, it was made without irony. Just using these characters and universe as a vessel for an actual narrative that the author probably wanted to tell. People...
As owner of Mint Mobile, I always want to find ways to save you money. So let's meet the barely paid spokesperson for the new Mint family plan, my mom.
You look thin, sweetheart. Are you eating?
Focus. Stick to the script there. Right there.
The new Mint family plan is only $15 a month per person.
And the other line right there?
Just one of the many reasons I love Ryan more than his dumb brother, Terry.
Okay, cut, please. Perfect. Moving on. Stop, Terry.
Did end up settling on, oh shit, this was probably for realsies, which probably heightened the absurdity of it all for some people. But if it was meant to be taken seriously, a lot of people were trying to figure out what exactly was it saying. Was it meant to be pro-choice or pro-life or neither at all? Who knows? It seemed like, at least at the start, it tried to present the best possible version of both arguments, but in retrospect, it almost comes off like the ambiguity was unintentional, as the author themselves said this was never meant to be taken as a pro-life work, as it was not a position that Borba holds. Going into the second one, Borba said that making a sequel was a tough decision, as the first one, becoming so controversial because of the abortion aspect, was not the intention. They claimed it was meant to mainly be a breakup story that had that specific story element as the catalyst for the general reason that Nick and Judy broke up. I guess depending on your angle, you could read the